What if you were at the peak of your career, only to have it come crashing down due to your own actions? How would it feel to lose everything you've worked for? This is the stark reality for Jonathan Majors, a man who once stood at the zenith of Hollywood, acclaimed for his roles in popular movies like Loki and Creed 3. Majors' charisma and talent were undeniable, and he quickly rose to fame, captivating audiences around the globe. His performances were raw, powerful, and deeply resonant. He was a rising star, a beacon of hope for aspiring actors, and a symbol of success in the ruthlessly competitive world of Hollywood. However, as the saying goes, the higher you climb, the harder you fall. And for Majors, the fall was brutal. Beneath the veneer of success and stardom, a darker narrative began to unfold. Majors found himself at the center of a criminal trial, facing charges of assault and harassment against his ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabari. These allegations sent shockwaves through the industry and his fan base. Majors, once celebrated for his talent, was now under scrutiny for his conduct. The charges brought against him were serious, casting a long dark shadow over his once bright career. The man who had once been a hero on screen was now a villain in real life. As the trial progressed, the details that emerged were deeply unsettling. Majors was accused of controlling behavior, violent outbursts, and even discouraging Jabari from seeking medical help for an injury. These allegations painted a picture of a man far removed from the characters he portrayed on screen, and the world watched in disbelief as Majors' career and personal life began to unravel. From Marvel's darling to a criminal in the eyes of the law, the fall was quick and steep for Jonathan Majors. As we delve deeper into this dramatic fall from grace, we are left to wonder, how did it all go so wrong for a man who seemed to have it all? Would you stand up against someone you once loved, even if it meant facing backlash from the public? This question takes us into the heart of the charges against actor Jonathan Majors. The man, known for his roles in Loki and Creed 3, found himself facing serious allegations including criminal domestic violence and misdemeanor assault. The charges stretch back to March and September of 2023. Majors' ex-girlfriend Grace Jabari testified against him, painting a picture of a relationship riddled with violence and control. During the September incident, after an evening out with a friend, Majors allegedly became violent, causing injury to Jabari. Text messages brought forward as evidence reveal Majors urging Jabari not to seek medical help, fearing it would spark an investigation. But it wasn't just one incident that landed Majors in the courtroom. A separate charge from March 2023 accused the actor of attacking Jabari in a car in New York City. This was not a simple lover's spat, it was a pattern of behavior that left Jabari feeling isolated and constantly on edge. The trial proceedings were intense. Jabari's testimony was filled with heart-wrenching details of Majors' violent outbursts and controlling behavior. She spoke of feeling guilt, wanting to protect Majors even after he was arrested. But ultimately, she chose to report the alleged assault to the police. Evidence and testimonies were scrutinized, dissected, and debated. The courtroom was a battlefield with accusations flying and emotions running high. Majors pleaded not guilty to all charges, but as we'll see, the verdict told a different story. The courtroom was a battlefield with accusations flying and emotions running high. As we move forward, remember this: standing up for what's right isn't always easy. It can be a battlefield of its own, but as Grace Jabari showed us, sometimes it's a battle worth fighting. Can the justice system ever truly do justice in cases of domestic violence? This question has been at the forefront as we've followed the trial of actor Jonathan Majors. The verdict is in, and it's a resounding guilty. Majors has been convicted on 2 misdemeanor charges of assault and harassment. His reaction, as one might expect, was a mix of disbelief and shock. But what does this guilty verdict mean for Majors? Well, he's potentially looking at a year-long stint in prison. A daunting prospect, no doubt, but the penalties extend far beyond the confines of a jail cell. His actions have triggered a domino effect that is swiftly dismantling his once promising career. Marvel Studios, the titan of the superhero universe, has severed ties with Majors. His role in the much-anticipated Avengers, the Kang dynasty, is now shrouded in uncertainty. How will the franchise navigate this unexpected development? Only time will tell. It doesn't stop there. His publicity firm and talent agency have also dropped him like a hot potato. They've washed their hands off him, leaving Majors to deal with the consequences of his actions alone. His upcoming film, The Man in My Basement, has pulled him from the project, leaving his future in Hollywood uncertain. This guilty verdict may well be a turning point in Majors' life. His actions have not only affected his personal life but have also cast a dark shadow over his professional journey. It's a stark reminder that actions have consequences, and even the glittering world of Hollywood isn't immune to the harsh realities of life. A guilty verdict, a tarnished reputation, and a career in shambles. This was the price Majors had to pay. And as we move forward, one can't help but wonder, will Majors be able to salvage his career? Or is this the end of the road for him? What happens when a star falls from grace? How does the world react? These questions echo in our minds as we consider the aftermath of Jonathan Majors' guilty verdict. It's a ripple effect that has left many stunned and questioning what's next for the actor and the industry he was a part of. The public reaction has been a mix of shock, disappointment, and for some, a grim satisfaction in seeing justice served. Social media platforms have been abuzz with discussions, debates, and speculations on Majors' future. Will he make a comeback after serving his time, or has his star permanently dimmed in the Hollywood galaxy? Perhaps more immediately impacted is the industry itself, specifically Marvel Studios. They had to make a decision, and they did. After the verdict, they swiftly severed ties with Majors, confirming that they will no longer be working with him on future projects. This action is a clear statement from the studio, a stance against domestic violence and a commitment to uphold their image and values. But what does this mean for the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Majors was set to portray a significant character, Kang the Conqueror, in the upcoming film Avengers: The Kang Dynasty. With him out of the picture, the studio now faces a conundrum. Do they recast the character, or do they rewrite the script to remove Kang entirely? It's a tough decision, one that could have considerable implications for the storyline and the fans' expectations. Moreover, Majors' fall from grace is more than just a personal disaster. It's a stark reminder of the responsibility that comes with fame and influence. It's a message to all those in the limelight that their actions have consequences. Consequences that extend beyond their personal lives and into their professional realms. As Majors fell, so did the character he was set to bring to life, Kang the Conqueror. The aftermath of this verdict is a ripple effect that continues to unfold, leaving us all to wonder about the future of Majors, Marvel, and the character left in limbo. If you were in Majors' shoes, how would you have handled the situation? And if you were Jabari, would you have had the courage to speak up? This scenario paints a vivid picture of the complexities and intricacies of human relationships, especially when they are entwined with fame, power, and influence. It's a situation that beckons us all to reflect on our own actions and choices. In the spotlight today, we had Jonathan Majors, a rising star who fell from grace, found guilty of misdemeanor charges of assault and harassment. We've delved into the charges, the trial, the guilty verdict, and the aftermath. We've seen how an illustrious career was derailed by personal choices and actions. On the other side of the coin, we have Grace Jabari, a woman who found the strength to step forward, to voice her truth in the face of adversity. Her story is a stark reminder of the importance of standing up for oneself, even when the odds seem stacked against us. This narrative has unfolded in the public eye, but it's more than just a headline. It's about real people, real choices, and real consequences. It's a tale that prompts us to question, to reflect, and to discuss. So, who do you think was right in this situation? Is there a clear right or wrong? What would you have done differently if you were in their shoes? We are all part of this narrative, not just as observers, but as individuals who can learn, grow, and make better choices. This is why we invite you to share your thoughts, your reflections, and your insights. Because every voice adds a new perspective, a new layer of understanding to the complex tapestry that is life. Remember, your voice matters, so don't forget to like, share, and comment on this video. Until next time, stay informed and stay engaged.